It's the UT Chattanooga Moccasins against the Oklahoma Sooners. First round action from the Southeast Regional from the Omni in Atlanta, an arena that is sold out today. In the opening game this afternoon, Auburn came up with a 4-point victory over Bradley in a hotly contested ball game. And now UT Chattanooga gets set to take on the #1 seed, Oklahoma. Hello, everybody. I'm Fred White. Our analyst, Larry Conley. Larry, in games like this with the #1 seed against the #16 seed, it seems like a mismatch, but think back last year, Austin Peay in Illinois, and who knows what might happen.
Well, Fred, I happened to be sitting in Birmingham when that one occurred last year, and I want to tell you that they really put it on Illinois. And don't ever think that in NCAA tournament play that you don't get some upsets occasionally. Obviously today, a club facing Oklahoma is a very, very talented offensive team, but it could happen.
This is a team in Oklahoma that has scored over 100 points 18 times already this year. So if you're UT Chattanooga, how do you approach the basketball game?
Well, I think if you're right now, Mac McCarthy, you take a look at this basketball game, and you're going to say, you know, I've got a chance to go to be in the NCAA tournament. I'm playing against one of the #1 seeded teams. You go out and you play relaxed. You go out and you say, have fun. Don't go out there tight. You can't go out and be intimidated. You're out there to play and go out and enjoy yourself. They've gotten hot in the Southern Conference tournament. They've won 3 in a row. I think for a basketball team to just come out and should be loose and relaxed.
After some mid-season problems, they're playing their best basketball of the year. They are not without firepower. They got the big fellow in the middle post. They've got a good guard in Benny Green, the transfer from Kansas State. He can score.
Well, they've got good balance scoring, and I think maybe that's the one asset they do have is that they're very balanced. They don't depend on one particular starter to just take it over, and I think that could help them as this game kind of cracks along.
And Oklahoma going over the 30-win mark under the direction of Billy Tubbs. As I mentioned, 18 times they scored 100 points. Interesting basketball team, Larry. The obvious firepower up front with King and Grant. They lose off last year's club, McAllister and Chu Kennedy, and somehow they get better.
Well, you know, I think the key to their basketball team, and a lot of people talk about their inside play, has been their guards. And I think Mookie Blaylock may be the guy that really holds them together. You're talking to Ziegler, who is the great shooter for them, and he's really the guy that really has been the glue that holds them together. And I like their 2 guards, and Grace and Blaylock. I think they're great.
Well, they are #1 and 2 in the Big 8 Conference in steals and assists. They get so much done for the team. It's been a record-shattering year for Oklahoma. It would be a heart-shattering to today if they get done by the Moccasins, but again, that's so possible. And the one thing you have to understand about NCAA play, any team in here is a good ball club. If you have an off day, you're likely to get it.
Well, it's going to be difficult, though, for Oklahoma to do that because Oklahoma is such a ready team. And, you know, you read the quotes by Billy Tubbs coming into this tournament, and they look, this is what it's all about. We put it on the floor, and we're going to show you exactly what we're made of. I'll tell you what they're made of. They are a high-powered offensive team, and people who played against them and coaches who may disagree with the way they run up the scores, but they are a great basketball team.
So we are getting set for action at the Omni in Atlanta. UT Chattanooga and Oklahoma, the #1 against the #16 seed, and we'll be back to meet the starting lineups right after you watch this. Again, UT Chattanooga set to face Oklahoma. And Larry, one Big 8 team has already gone out today. Missouri beaten by Rhode Island 87-80. I don't know if you can call that an upset or not. We've seen Missouri, we've seen Rhode Island. They're a legitimate basketball team.
Fred, I think Rhode Island may be one of those teams that may sneak into that regional. They've got a great set of guards, and you and I have seen them a lot this year. We've seen Missouri a lot, and a basketball team that is very young. As we look at the Oklahoma Sooners, you talk about life in the fast lane. Look at this. Folks, that's second in the nation. That's not #1. That's second in the nation in scoring.
It's #3 in history, but #2 this year. Loyola Marymount has averaged a few points more than that this year. And UNLV one year averaged 110.5. Loyola Marymount this year got 109.5 a game. And Oklahoma coming up with 105. Larry, let's talk about Oklahoma's defense a little bit. People like to say they don't think they play much defense. They do. They attack you on defense.
Well, the one thing that Mac McCarthy said in his news conference yesterday when they were interviewing him, he says, what are you going to do? And he said, I'd like to slow the game down. But he said, that's going to be very difficult to do. Everybody talks about Oklahoma's offense. It's not their offense that worries me. I know that's constant. It's going to be there. But their defense and their press is what really bothers me. Led by Mookie Blaylock, led by Ricky Grace, and 2 outstanding defensive guards.
But you know, all the Mocs have to do is think back to 1982, Larry, when they dumped North Carolina State. They came up with a win in NCAA play that year. The last time they were in, they lost to Maryland. They're probably happy to get away from ACC teams. And the 3 times in, they played Maryland twice. They played North Carolina State. This time they tangle with Oklahoma, ranked 4th in the nation, and again the #1 seed in this regional.
Well, they've got another round mound of rebound in the South down here. And then Lance Fultz, who is 6'6" and 265. He may have taken Charles Barkley's place. You're talking about some size, yes. mass. He does weigh 265 pounds. He's also averaging 15 points and 9 rebounds a game for the Moccasins. And I really think if he has a good ball game today, they can keep it close. Who knows what can happen in the final couple of minutes if it is close.
The Moccasins come in 20-12. Oklahoma at 30-3. The champions of the Big 8 regular season and of the postseason tournament, Tennessee Chattanooga winning the Southern Conference postseason tournament. So we're getting set now to meet the starting lineups. There you see Oklahoma at midcourt, now going back to the bench. And we are set to meet the starters now. Let's join public address announcer Marshall Mann.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second game of the 1988 NCAA Southeast Regional first and second round games here in Atlanta. Here are today's starting lineups for our game, featuring the Moccasins of the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, and the Sooners of Oklahoma. Starting at forward for Tennessee Chattanooga, number 30, Shindy Moon. Oklahoma, number 44, Dave Seeger. Also at forward for Tennessee Chattanooga is number 20, Darren Chandler. And for Oklahoma, number 25, Harvey Grant. Starting at center for Tennessee Chattanooga, number 51, Lance Folt. And for Oklahoma, number 30, Stacy King. Starting at guard for Tennessee Chattanooga, number 44, Benny Green. And for Oklahoma, number 14, Ricky Grace. Also at guard for Tennessee Chattanooga, number 12, Morris Lyon. And for Oklahoma, number 10, Mookie Blaylock. The head coach for Tennessee Chattanooga is Mac McCarthy. And the head coach for Oklahoma is Billy Tubb.
With his back to you there, we have set the starting lineup. We're set to play basketball. Oklahoma and UT Chattanooga set to tip it off right after this. Three-man officiating crew this afternoon is assigned by the NCAA. Jody Sylvester on the left, Eric Harmon in the middle, Terry Stout on the right. The 50th anniversary of the NCAA tournament this year, all roads leading to Kansas City. Oklahoma just won the Big 8 postseason tournament at Kemp Arena, the arena that will host the Final Four this year. And now the Sooners hope to begin a march back to that same arena to finish the season today. And the first team in their way, Tennessee Chattanooga.
But very important that UTC get off to a good start. They can't allow Oklahoma to just blitz them coming right off the tip-off. They've got to get ready to play.
They are a much smaller ball club than Oklahoma, with Darren Chandler at 6'6", jumping center now. And UT Chattanooga comes up at the tip. Benny Green, the 6'3" sophomore guard. Chandler at the top of the circle gets the ball from Shindy Moon. Green for three, off the heel of the rim. Rebound battle for in the lane. Right back to Chandler, and the shot is up and good. Darren Chandler picks up the first 2 points in the ballgame. Down at the other end, it's Oklahoma with Mookie Blaylock scoring very quickly.
That took exactly 6 seconds.
That's about as long as it's going to take them all day.
Here comes that press by Oklahoma. The Sooners picking out three-quarter court. Lions handling the ball, bringing it up for UTC.
Mocs with the basketball. Lions to Benny Green. Up top to Lance Pulse. The big fella operates down in the pivot most of the time. There's a kick. They're going to get a new 45-second clock. Just underway. In the opening game here today, Auburn beat Bradley 90-86. Rhode Island has defeated Missouri 87-80. Purdue beat Fairleigh Dickinson 94-77 today in first-round action. Lions has the ball deflected in the middle. Harvey Grant is out on the run with it, up to Mookie Blaylock. Back in the middle, intended for Grant. Tipped away by UT Chattanooga.
Pretty good play by Darren Chandler that time, coming from behind to slap the ball away. One thing UTC's got to be very careful of is that they don't allow Oklahoma to beat them on their transition game. If they can get back on defense and eliminate the number of fast break opportunities that Oklahoma's going to throw at them, they'll be much better off.
Ricky Grace intended the inbounds pass for Blaylock, tipped away by Lyons.
The one thing Oklahoma wants to take advantage of, obviously, is the size that they've got. They're so much bigger on the inside with Harvey Grant and Stacy King.
Singer to Blaylock, down inside, Stacy King, turnaround jump shot, good.
As I said, take advantage of that size.
Larry, he may be the most improved player in the country this year.
I think he's one of the best I've seen from one year to the next.
He really is. Stacy King averaging 22 points and 9 rebounds a ball game, the MVP in the Big 8 postseason tournament. Benny Green for UT Chattanooga, now Chandler.
Good screen. Lyons was open, passed it up. Not a lot of pressure on the ball right now by Oklahoma.
Chandler was wide open. The shot a little too strong. UT Chattanooga getting back on defense, shutting down Oklahoma's fast break. Singer.
That's a walk. Really an unforced error that time by Oklahoma. Mac McCarthy led his UTC to 3 straight 21 seasons. Used to be an assistant coach for Sonny Smith at Auburn. Went up there 3 years ago and has continued that good tradition that the Moccasins have had.
Benny Green defended by Mookie Blaylock. Now Chandler. Now Lyons. Outside Chandler, now Benny Green. UT Chattanooga on the attack here. And Green in the lane is bumped. The shot went down. It's going to count. Benny Green picks up his first basket of the basketball game.
We talked about his scoring prowess at the beginning of the game. Watch him make the move around Blaylock, and Blaylock from behind commits the foul. Excellent move by Benny Green, the leading scorer for the Moccasins.
Blaylock gets the first foul in the ball game. It's tied at 4-4 now, and Benny Green with a chance to put UT Chattanooga in front.
This guy does a little bit of everything for UTC. He's their leading scorer. He also leads them in assists. You can see what he does from the free throw line. Complete basketball player, and only a sophomore.
Green, a transfer from Kansas State, hometown Little Rock, Arkansas. Best player on this ball club. He's a shooter, has good hands. Missed the free throw. Game still tied at 4. Blaylock makes a quick move, is called for the walk. And the Moccasins get it back.
All of a sudden, Oklahoma with back-to-back turnovers gives UTC another opportunity. Tied at 4.
Second turnover charged to the Sooners. They're amazing at getting turnovers. And there's one. Blaylock out on a break with Grant with him. Drops it to Grant, and he's stripped. Out of bounds. It's going to be UT Chattanooga basketball.
How about the play that time down inside? An excellent defensive play in there by Darren Chandler to slap it away. Billy Tubbs not very happy with the way his club has played so far. Justifiably so, I think.
Green had it knocked loose from behind by Singer. Picked off by King. To Grace, to the baseline, to Blaylock. Back in the lane to King, and he scores.
Good pass by Blaylock that time.
4 points, Stacy King. The big guy in the middle gives Oklahoma the 6-4 lead with 17-14 left in our first half. Green, Benny Green for a 3 is off the heel of the rim, and Singer chases down the rebound for Oklahoma. To Blaylock. King posted, dropped it on the floor. Going to be taken away from him. Morris Lyons to Shendy Moon. Basket's good. It's going to be a charge on Shendy Moon. Give him the 2 and give him his first foul.
And give Dave Siegler a lot of credit for that defensive position down inside. Watch the steal on the inside right here. Good play. Good pickup by Morris Lyons, and watch him kick it to the right. Here goes Shendy Moon. Siegler with a good defensive position. The charge, and Oklahoma gets the ball back.
He gets a basket, a foul, and probably a place on your all-name team. Shendy Moon from UT Chattanooga.
Is that a great name?
Really is. 6-6 tie. Lob down inside. Grant turnaround jumper.
Was that reminiscent of his brother? He played at Clemson, now playing with the Chicago Bulls.
Twin brother Horace. They went to Clemson together, and Harvey transferred. Spent some time at Independence Junior College playing for Bob Fister there. Now, back at Oklahoma. Baseline.
That's a walk.
Called for traveling. The Mocs turn it over. Oklahoma with a 2-point lead in the basketball. Dave Singer out inside. Grant to the bucket. Scores. Will they count it? It's a charge on Grant. His first foul.
Watch it again. Horace Grant's going to commit the foul. Watch the defensive position on the inside by Lance Fuse. Good job. Extended. Verticality. He gets the call. Grant with the offensive charge.
No basket. 2-point lead, Oklahoma.
Here comes the Sooners press again. Look at Grant on the front end of that press. There's a guy 6'8", 200 out there, handling the guards.
Back across the line. Oklahoma gets it back. 4 turnovers charged to UT Chattanooga. Oklahoma's turned it over 5 times, so neither team is taking very good care of the basketball right now, Larry.
We haven't even played 4 minutes yet. A little profile view of Billy Tubbs right there. I'm happy with the fact that his club turned it over 4 times.
Stacy King off the baseline. Shots off the rim. Grant rebounds, and he is fouled.
And Chandler got him.
Aaron Chandler trying for the block. Picks up his first personal foul. And Grant will go to the free throw line. The 6'8" senior, a 74% free throw shooter.
Right, when you've got 2 players like Harvey Grant and Stacy King at 6'8" and 6'10", you've got to push the ball to the inside and give them those opportunities. Difficult to not allow Blaylock and Seeger. You see Grant missed the free throw right there. Grace, Blaylock, and Seeger to get those 3-point shots because all 3 of them can shoot well from outside.
Each team has missed their only free throw opportunity. Still Oklahoma by 2. Grant's free throw good this time, and he has 3 points. Oklahoma up by 3. Hey, the early moments of the ball game, UT Chattanooga staying right with Oklahoma, Larry.
They beat the press again.
Andy Moon. Horace Lyons off the baseline, sticks wide.
You know what? Fultz was standing there, and he shot it over the top of him, and King couldn't get to him.
Blaylock at the baseline, down inside to King for the quick turnaround jump shot.
Dave Seeger, great tip.
Seeger gets his first 2 points. Ricky Grace, the only starter that has not scored for Oklahoma. Fultz, the only one for Tennessee Chattanooga.
Good trap again that time by Oklahoma, but UTC handling the breast pretty well.
They really are. Benny Green, Chandler. Lyons.
Good man-to-man pressure that time. Way out front is Stacy King.
Fultz almost traveled, was able to get rid of the basketball. Baseline, Lyons back outside. Shendy Moon, 10 seconds on the shot clock. The Mocs are going to have to find a shot now. Benny Green goes to work against Blaylock in the circle. Double fake, triple fake, and the shot is up off the heel of the rim. Chandler rebounds, no good. This time it's close. The big guy in the middle gets it down.
3 straight rebounds by the Moccasins that time on the offensive end. Rare opportunity for them when Oklahoma's down inside.
11-10 Oklahoma with 14:30 left in the first half as Grant tries a fadeaway jumper. Doesn't get it. Rebound, Morris Lyon. The Mocs with a chance to take the lead, but it's intercepted by Ricky Grace.
Oh, what a shot by Grace. He saw 265 pounds waiting on him underneath the basket. Says, I'm not going in there, and he threw up a spinner off that backboard. Good play by Grace, Ricky Grace.
All right, think about this for a minute. We've scored 23 points in this ball game. All 10 starters have scored. It's distribution.
That is distribution. You know, now we're talking about the Big 8 scoring at the end of the season there, and the fact that Oklahoma led the league in scoring, didn't have anybody in the top 10.
It's amazing, isn't it?
For top 5.
14-13 left in the first half. Oklahoma by 3.
Look at the ball come off right here, and look at Morris Lyons try to throw it about 80 feet to the other end. Now watch the interception down here, and watch the other move on the other end by amazing Grace, Ricky Grace. Watch him take it in and lay it up with his left hand off the backboard. An absolutely fantastic move. Good offensive work with the left hand.
Shooting so far, UT Chattanooga's hit 5 of 11. Oklahoma 6 of 9. The Mocs with the basketball. Morris Lyons in against Grant and pulls it right back out again. In the lane now to Robinson, and now Pulse off the baseline, doesn't drop the shot. Grant rebound. Tony Martin is in the game now for Oklahoma. Had the basketball momentarily. Seeger to Grace. Green is with Grace. Tony Martin up front. Pulse comes out with him. Grant fighting his way through the lane. They try to throw it down inside, and he's fouled. I believe they got Vincent Robinson, who's in the lineup now. They did. Vincent Robinson commits his first foul, the 13th foul on UT Chattanooga. 2 have been called against Oklahoma. The Sooners lead by 3.
Mocson's making a ball game out of it. Randy early going.
So far they are, but Oklahoma's turned the ball over an awful lot. It's very customary for them to do that.
Grace from the deep corner. Rebounded by Fultz. And UT Chattanooga within 3. They have the basketball. Mocson's getting set to send Chris Behrens into the ball game. Grace got a hand on it, but it's out of bounds to UT Chattanooga.
One thing you can't do against this Oklahoma team is hold the basketball. Ricky Grace right there trying to pick it off. Good defensive work with those hands.
The NCAA is conducting research during this basketball tournament, and we'd like your participation. Would you like to see more women's basketball on television? If the answer is yes, dial 900-260-2221. If it's no, dial 900-260-2222.
Pretty good job now by Grace on Lyons out top. More Blaylock's all over Green. Oklahoma's kind of stiffening that defense a little bit. Now you see Seager coming out a little bit further that time on Darren Chandler.
Robinson off the deep wing. The shot doesn't drop for him. Seager clears the rebound. The Sooners headed up court now with a 3-point lead. Mookie Blaylock looks in at Grant. Turnaround jumper. It's a 5-point lead for Oklahoma, their biggest of the game.
Reggie won't find many teams with a player that can shoot that baseline jumper better than he can.
Or quicker. He really gets rid of it in a hurry, doesn't he?
Good release. Very quick release.
Lena Tisdale always got rid of it like that along the baseline. Not quite the same type shooter, but got rid of it quickly.
Billy Tubbs is very proud of that. The fact that he gets the ball inside a great deal to his players, the inside players.
Benny Green working against that inside wall of Oklahoma. Misses the short jumper. Back comes Ricky Grace for the Sooners. Oklahoma up 5 with 12:15 left in the first half. Dave Seager. Grant at the baseline. Seager. Grace from 3-point range doesn't shoot it. Oklahoma playing with patience. Blaylock inside. Grant trying to control it. Can't. Tony Martin had it. Dropped it on the floor. Still battling for it and got it on the out-of-bounds strike. It'll be UT Chattanooga basketball now. And for Oklahoma, another substitution. Terrence Mullins, a 6'2 freshman, checks in.
Let's watch a little bit of Horace Grant on that baseline. Now, he can do a lot of things down there besides just shoot it. He can pass it well, too. But he's got a great shot. I like the way he takes the ball inside once they get it to him. And that little soft turnaround jump shot. But we're not going to watch it. We're going to go on with play.
Mocson's down 5 with the basketball. Chandler. Aaron Chandler back up front with it for Morris Lyons. Lyons defended out there by Ricky Grace. Missouri, the Big 8, defeated by Rhode Island today. Rhodey wins that one 87-80. Grace at the other end off the turnover is going to be called for the charge. Ricky Grace commits his first personal foul, the third on Oklahoma.
Let's watch Ricky Grace a little bit out of control going down the right side here in a good defensive position by the Moccasins. Watch him take the ball. Thinks he sees the opening right there, but good position by Morris Lyons to draw the charge. And he almost got a second charge on our cameraman.
UT Chattanooga in the NCAA tournament here in first round action down 5, and now a foul called in the open court against Terrence Mullins, who just checked into the lineup.
Fred, Oklahoma looks a little bit out of sync to me. They're a basketball team that's come into this NCAA tournament as one of the favorites, obviously the #1 seed in the Southeast. And I don't think they're playing up to their capabilities. Obviously they're not. They're only up by 5 right now against the number 16 seeded team in UTC. But I think Chattanooga's done a pretty good job of keeping them off balance, too.
You know what, Larry, what I think I'm not seeing from Oklahoma is that usual quickness and devastating speed that we've seen them with so many times before. Long try, Benny Green, a 3, and it's good. Benny Green has 5 points.
Well, they don't want to give UTC too much confidence, because if they keep this game close, they're going to believe they can begin to win.
15-13. Chris Behrens commits a foul at the other end of the court. Lance Pulse right back in the UT Chattanooga lineup. And Stacy King returns in a hurry for Oklahoma.
Terrence Mullins, coming out of high school, was one of the top 100 high school players coming out. Obviously, he's a freshman out of San Francisco's Reardon High School. He's a second-year freshman. He's redshirted last year after an injured knee. He's a good player, Fred. He really gives him a big lift when he comes off of that bench. A stocky guy, almost 200 pounds.
Pick and jump.
Yeah, they told us that in the preseason, when these guards get together to measure their jumping ability, that Mullins was the best leaper they had of the guard cadre that they had.
It's a little surprising if you just see him walking around out there. You wouldn't think that. He missed both free throw attempts, however. He's only shooting 72% at the free throw line, so he's been a good free thrower this year. Moxon's down 2 with a basketball, hanging tough. Robinson couldn't drop it, and now a foul is called against UT Chattanooga. They got Lance Pulse that time. It's his first personal foul, the 5th on UT Chattanooga. Earlier today here, Auburn beat Bradley 90-86. Percy Hawkins had 44 points in that ball game.
Chris Morris had 36. That was a real shootout.
What a performance by those two. Stacy King at the baseline. Ball came off the rim. Benny Green had it, lost it. Singer now goes for a 3 from the deep corner, too strong.
Oklahoma really having some tough luck on their shooting, and they're getting open shots. UTC now with a chance to at least tie and perhaps go ahead if they can hit a 3.
Green working in the lane is fouled by Terrence Mullins. It's his second personal foul. Lukey Blaylock will check back in here for Oklahoma with 10:16 left in the first half. The Sooners sitting on a narrow 2-point lead over UT Chattanooga at the moment.
Fred, this is not the way Oklahoma likes to play. I mean, they're a club averaging 104 points a game, and they're on target right now to do somewhere between 60 and 70 points. And this is not their offensive game. And there's a kick by Mookie Blaylock. And it'll go back to UTC.
Credit to UT coach Mac McCarthy and his staff that they have controlled the tempo of the game to this point.
I think part of it, though, has been Oklahoma's inability to shoot the ball well. They've had a lot of open shots, and they've committed a lot of offensive charging fouls.
Robinson, Pulse. King out covering him on the floor.
Mullins, better defense on Lyons out front. A little more pressure now by the Sooners.
Down low, Benny Green turns around, shoots over Blaylock and sticks it. Benny Green has 7. That's the first tie since it was 4-4. Now the Moccasins back even at 15-15 against the #1 seed in the Southeast, Oklahoma. Stacy King, fadeaway jumper.
Short again. And another missed shot by Oklahoma.
All right, Oklahoma shooting a lot of those fadeaway jumpers and getting nobody down to rebound when they miss. Lions.
Fred, they don't want to give this group confidence. I'm talking about UTC because this crowd in here, you know, this is only 90 miles from Chattanooga and Atlanta, and they've got a lot of people around here that would start pulling for UTC if the game got close.
It's a pretty good contingent of fans on hand here, as does Oklahoma. Benny Green
For 3.
And the Moccasins go up by 3 at 18-15 with 9:02 left in the first half, and their crowd excited across the way. Blaylock to Singer. King makes a move against Pulse, knocked out of his hands, picked off there. Green, Lyons has it. Green got the hand on it. Lyons fires, too strong, but Robinson is there to rebound and fouled by Terrence Mullins, the 3rd foul on Mullins. And the Moccasins doing some damage to Oklahoma right now.
Coming off the bench, Terrence Mullins picked up his 3rd personal foul. You can see Billy Tubbs right there. It's almost a perplexed look. He says, what's happened to my basketball team? 30-3, Big 8 champions.
Or have you seen the quickness that we've seen from Oklahoma before?
No, and Fred, I've seen them twice this year and done them once, and I will say this. This is not the same basketball team that we saw play in January and February.
And I guess you give credit to UT Chattanooga for that. They're controlling the tempo of the basketball game right now.
Yeah, and they're making their shots when Oklahoma is not, and Oklahoma's had some good shots. They're just not making them.
Robinson's free throw.
Look at the rebound.
Chattanooga gets it back.
Good steal by Blaylock.
Mookie Blaylock out on the break, trying to run by Morris Lyons, and a foul is going to be called on Lyons. It'll be his first. #15 foul on UT Chattanooga. 6 make it. Both teams will be in the 1-1 from here on. We have a timeout right now with 8:37 left in our first half. UT Chattanooga 18, Oklahoma 15 our score, and we'll be right back in the Omni. Chattanooga has moved in front of Oklahoma here with 8:37 left in the first half in the Omni in Atlanta.
Well, let's go back and and look at that shooting right now that Oklahoma is so deficient in. Now watch Stacy King get the good position. Now watch him wheel. Wide open, no one around. He shoots it short. They've missed 5 shots in a row, and that's allowed UTC to get ahead in this basketball game.
All right, let me ask you one more question about that picture. Tony Martin was the only Oklahoma player left under the basket. They've shot a lot of those fadeaway jumpers off the baseline and came up empty on them. But they will get crashing the boards on them pretty soon, you would think.
That time Oklahoma, excuse me, Fred, they turned up the notch a little bit, and Blaylock almost with a steal. One thing the Moccasins got to guard against right now, and they've got the lead. They just got to stay with their knitting if they're going to stay ahead in this ball game. Do the things that have gotten them ahead. And that's taking care of the basketball.
Benny Green trying to do that right now against Ricky Grace. Gets it to Morris Lyons. He got picked off on a screen down in there. Lukey Blaylock did, guarding Lyons. Lyons did not take the shot. Green now out on the wing. Darren Chandler. Lyons to Shendy Moon. They have their starting 5 on the floor right now. Tennessee, Chattanooga.
Good passing game being run right now by the Moccasins.
So does Oklahoma. All 10 starters are back in the game. Down low, Chandler shoots over Grant, and he's fouled by Harvey Grant. That's the second on Grant.
Fred, did you see the patience exhibited that time by UTC? They took care of the basketball, got a good shot in the middle, and they drew a foul on one of the key players, Harvey Grant. That's good work, and that's smart coaching and excellent offensive thinking by the UTC Moccasins.
This telecast presented by authority of the NCAA. And any use of this program without written consent is prohibited. The announcers for this program have been approved and contracted by NCAA Productions. Darren Chandler gets the free throw down. He has 3 points, a 6'6" sophomore from Stark, Florida. He came eligible on December 12th, and he has really played well. He's scored in double figures in 11 of his last 13 ball games, and he puts UT Chattanooga up by 5 points here. Oklahoma led by 5 earlier. It's been the biggest margin so far in the first half of this game.
Fred, look how far Oklahoma has spread the offense. Nobody in the middle. They've got a 1-2-2 offense, and they've got it spread. 4 threes, and Grace cracks it.
Grace picks up the first 3 of the afternoon for Oklahoma. Here's a team that attempted 696 threes this year, Larry.
That has to lead the nation. That is an incredible number. Let's see if they spread the offense again. No, it's a quick break. Good feed to King.
Now Oklahoma storming back. Stacy King gets his 6-point. Larry, Oklahoma's only attempted 3 threes so far and made 1 in this game. So they're just not playing like themselves so far. Game tied at 20. UT Chattanooga, Morris Lyons, alone off the circle, didn't shoot it.
Had it and wouldn't take it.
Green.
You know, Fred, there's some theory as to keeping Oklahoma on defense and keep the ball away from their hands. You know that they want to take good shots. See, they passed up another one right there. They want to keep Oklahoma on the defense. Don't allow them to work that offensive end because they score very, very quickly.
Lyons almost taken away by Mookie Blaylock. Blaylock with 122 steals, 127 steals make that coming into this one.
How about the shot by Chandler? Good move down the middle.
Chandler now has a half dozen points. Moccasins back in front by 2, 6:37 left in the first half. Benny Green's going to be called for a personal foul, reaching in front of Ricky Grace. That's the first foul on Green.
Fred, take a look at this play right here. Now, what you're going to see is the cutter going through the middle, and that's Grace right there, and Green's going to commit the foul. Benny Green commits it. But what Oklahoma has done is opened the floor up in the middle. They've taken away their postmen down inside, taken them all the way to the wings and on the baseline in the far corners, and what they've got are 5 guys all on the perimeter outside that 3-point range, and it's opened up the middle for that cut.
Grace, free throw, miss.
Moon with a good rebound. Strong rebound.
Moccasins up 2 with the basketball. 6:26 left in the first half. Chandler. Pulse. Chandler off the wing. Going to bounce over the backboard and out of bounds to Oklahoma. Do we have a story building here at the Omni in Atlanta? The decided underdogs, UT Chattanooga, the 16th seed in the Southeast, leading the number 1 seed, Oklahoma, by 2 in the first half.
Now they go back inside. Seeger and Grant on the same side. They're going to lose it? Yes.
Seeger lost it on the floor. Picked up by the Moccasins.
Another turnover for Oklahoma.
Number 9 for Oklahoma. Already in this game, Moccasins have turned it over 7. Green penetrated, kicks off the Lions, pulls right back, inside-out game. Now Lyons starts to drive. He's called for a charge. He hit the bucket. It won't count.
Fred, that's a big play right there because Morris Lyons got the basket. Take a look and see if he charged. If it was a very minimal call. Watch this move. I'll tell you what, from that angle right there, you couldn't tell it was a charge, and they're going to take that basket away.
I didn't see contact, to be honest with you. 5:43 left in first half action here. Oklahoma down 2. They get the ball back. Ricky Grace taking a look at Billy Tubbs before he crosses midcourt. Now Blaylock down inside. King with a quick turnaround jumper, and he sticks it. Stacy King has 8 points.
Brad, you made such an excellent point earlier. Stacy King gets that shot off so very quickly. He and Grant both.
They just don't waste any time getting it when they have their mind made up to shoot it. Game tied, 22, 5:16 left in the first half. Benny Green for UT Chattanooga. Now Robinson against Seeger.
Good pressure by Seeger that time.
Auburn defeated Bradley 90-86 in the first game here in Atlanta today. Rhode Island beat Missouri 87-80. Purdue over Fairleigh Dickinson 94-77 underscores today. Green's long three won't fall. Robinson is fouled as he gets the shot back up.
Stacy King's going to get the foul.
And so Robinson got the offensive rebound. Stacy King commits his first foul.
UTC doing a pretty good job on that offensive glass. They're really rebounding very well on the offensive end, UTC.
Vincent Robinson, a 59% free throw shooter on the year, a 6'6 junior, a transfer from Memphis State, from Bridgeport, Alabama. It's this one. 1-point lead, UT Chattanooga. All right, I think you made the point earlier, the longer this thing goes, the more the Moxons are going to believe in themselves against the #1 seed.
Well, they'll just get more confidence, and they'll be able to generate more fans. Offensive rebounding so far, UTC has 5, Oklahoma has 6. And they're dead even in the rebound category. Very surprising considering Oklahoma is so much bigger.
A foul was called against Chris Behrens. 4:41 left in first half activity here. And a 1-point lead to UT Chattanooga as Harvey Grant, the senior from Sparta, Georgia, steps to the line. He's 1 for 2 today. 74% shooter on the year. Has 5 points in this one. An all Big 8 performer. He has had 43 consecutive games in double figures, Larry. He has just been a very consistent basketball player for Oklahoma.
Fred, would it surprise you that he and his brother led Sparta, Georgia to 2 straight high school state champions?
Surprises me they didn't get 3 straight. Timeout here. We have 4:41 left in our first half. Oklahoma has gone in front of UT Chattanooga by 1. We'll be right back to the Omni. Chattanooga with 4:41 now left in our first half. Chattanooga's hit 9 out of 23 shots so far. Oklahoma 10 of 18. The Mocs is getting 5 more shots than the Sooners off, but that's probably the biggest upset of the tournament, Larry.
Well, Fred, when I look at those statistics, 10 out of 18 shooting for Oklahoma, and you got to remember they missed 5 in a row, so they were really burning the net before they went into that drought.
Larry, it never fails at tournament time. You get what appears to be a mismatch. And the underdog always justifies their existence in this tournament with a heck of a ball game. And that's what UT Chattanooga is doing right now. Now you see the Oklahoma defense going to work.
Harvey Grant doing a good job with Grace with that trap in the corner. It's a good Oklahoma press. They come out. They've got 5 very quick players. UTC looking to make the long pass. Shepard comes up and helps.
Well, they stick Grant right on the throw-in guy, and he has problems just getting the ball by Grant. And then they attack you with that press, don't they?
Just like that. Good job at UTC, but they turned it over to Grace.
Grace up to Blaylock. Now, this is Oklahoma's game, but Blaylock can't hold on. And now they're out 2-on-1 against Grace. Benny Green is going to back it out. Robinson back to Green. And now outside with it to Patrick Shepard.
Right, another turnover by Oklahoma. After the steal, they came up with it off the press and then gave it right back to UTC.
10 turnovers Oklahoma, 9 UTC now. Now 4 minutes left in the first half. Chandler wide open, shots off target, and Grant has the rebound foul. Knocked off balance by Vincent Robinson, the second foul on Robinson.
One thing that I think Chattanooga's done very well in the first half is crashed that offensive glass against a more talented, taller team in Oklahoma. And you see Harvey Grant right there absorbing the blow, and he'll go to the line and shoot 1-1.
Mike Collins, a 6'3" junior from Leavenworth, Kansas, checks into the lineup. He might be the best shooter on this ball club. He's a transfer from Penn State, went to Dodge City Junior College. Grant's free throw, good. He's now hit 4 out of 5. Has 8 points, 5 rebounds.
It's a pretty good stat right there. Ranked first in the Big 8 in rebounding, almost 10 a game. It's a pretty good rebounding conference.
21 points and 10 rebounds a game for Harvey Grant. Eddie Green back. Oklahoma now back in front by 3. It's been a seesaw first half.
Looks like Oklahoma's gone to a zone. 1-2-2. Seeger's on the top of it. You see Grayson Blaylock right on the wings. Pulse is going to go in the middle for Chattanooga. I think this is going to force Chattanooga to maybe even hold the ball a little bit longer than what they have been. They can hold the ball now for a good 40 seconds before they put a shot up. They've been letting it go with about 25 to 30 seconds.
Sooners double teaming the ball. Green's going to go for 3, in and out. Grant High to spare the rebound for Oklahoma. Sooners with a 3-point lead in the basketball. 3:14 left in the first half. Sigurd dumps it inside. King hunting along the baseline.
That's the way you move the ball. Good work by King. Good pass by Dave Sigurd.
Stacy King now with 10 points.
King just walked over, slapped hands with Sigurd, and he says, "That's my man. Give me the ball." And he does. Baseline. King, wheel, deal. Up and in and draw the foul. Go to the line for 3. You like it down below? Watch it again from up top. Stacy King. Wheel right, come back to the left. Nice soft left-handed shot. And just a junior, folks, from Lawton, Oklahoma.
Morris Lyons back in the Moxon lineup. King now with 10 points, misses the free throw attempt. His first shot from the line in the game.
Pressure now by Oklahoma. Seeger's trying to chase the ball out top, and nobody's helping him. Kind of tough to chase that ball all by yourself.
Boy, there's the interception. Grace anticipating the pass, cut off the lane, and Blaylock takes the drive. Shot won't fall. Back the other way come the Mocs. And Morris Lyons immediately settles the offense down and pulls it back out. Robinson, bad pass, fired it right over the head of Chandler, out of bounds. Oklahoma gets it back with 2:30 left in the first half. And Matt McCarthy wants a timeout to talk about it. UTC turning it over here with 2:30 left in the first half. And Oklahoma will have a 5-point lead in the basketball. We come back to action in the Omni. Oklahoma got up by 5 early, then went cold. UT Chattanooga got up by 5. Now they've gone cold and started turning it over. And the Oklahoma Sooners back up by the 5-point margin again.
You know, this is an Oklahoma basketball team that's been to the NCAA tournament, I think, 6 consecutive times now. And you wouldn't think a club like this would really be upset or nervous about playing an NCAA tournament. They look a little nervous out there playing today.
Well, playing that #1 seed maybe is a little bit different for them. This is their 6th consecutive trip, Oklahoma, their 10th trip overall. Larry, under Bruce Drake, they finished 2nd in the nation to Holy Cross back in 1947. They lost 58-47. That 47 points the Sooners scored in the national championship game that year is about less than a half work for this ball club, the way they've been going at it.
Well, there's the moccasin. The Indian and the Sooners beginning to circle the wagons.
Yes, we are doing it. Yes, we are doing it. Yes, we are.
The ball club is holding this thing pretty well right now. They're down 5 as we approach halftime in the Omni. Billy Tubbs.
Go ahead, Fred. I'm sorry. I was going to say, it just seems like when I was reading everything about Oklahoma at the beginning of the year, everybody was talking about the Sooners having a rebuilding year. My goodness. 30-3.
Well, we talked about the opening of the telecast. They lose Chu Kennedy and Tim McAllister off last year's ball club, and they come up with 2 guards who honestly have made them a better basketball team. And how can you lose 2 guys of that caliber and then get better? But Billy Tubbs has done that. Tubbs now in his 8th year at Oklahoma with 194 victories and 70 losses. You know, he's only 6 wins away from Bruce Drake now at Oklahoma.
I'll tell you the one thing I think he was able to do this year that a lot of coaches have difficulty in doing, and that's taking newcomers, for example, 5 junior college transfers who were new to this team, and meshing them with his veterans. It's been very tough. And give him a lot of credit for doing that. I think he's done an excellent job of coaching this group.
Stacy King, there's that quick turnaround jumper, and he gets it. Stacy King has a dozen points. Oklahoma's up 7 now. With 2:16 left in the first half, the Sooner press going to work. The double-team Lions. Now Green catches at midcourt. Morris Lyons, Singer out on the floor covering him. Green defended by Blaylock. Aaron Chandler. Lance Pulse.
You know, it's almost as if the Moccasins aren't even looking for a shot.
Came inside the Pulse that time, and he had room to shoot it, turned it down. 1:48 left in the first half. 19 on the shot clock. Chandler takes it. He got a hand on it. Now Grant, and now Ricky Grace. And Oklahoma perhaps beginning to assume command of the game as King fires to the baseline and hits his 14th point.
Fred, that was a shot he was shooting short earlier. Now he's gotten the ball up over that rim, and now Oklahoma begin to shoot it real well.
He's a 6'10 junior from Lawton, Oklahoma. The Sooners have hit UT Chattanooga with a 10-1 run in the last 2 minutes and 42 seconds, and another turnover. That is a dozen turnovers now. Charge to UT Chattanooga. Siger. There's Grant. Boy, they're sticking everything off the baseline now, Larry.
And Grant and King are playing volleyball, and I'm not talking about the rebounding. I'm talking about the shooting on both sides of that lane.
All of a sudden, Oklahoma's opened an 11-point lead. Grant now has 11 points. Foul on Mookie Blaylock is his second personal foul. Benny Green going to the line. Well, he transferred from Kansas State. I always like to put him with Henson and Richmond on that ball club. They're going to play tonight against LaSalle and South Bend. That'd be a pretty good trio of guards.
You know, not only does Benny Green lead his club in scoring, but he also leads them in assists. Good handler, good hands, big hands.
11 points now for Benny Green. He's 4 for 11 from the field so far in this game. 1 for 2 at the free throw line. 10-point lead to the Sooners now. Make it 9 with 1:05 left in the first half.
Good movement that. What a cut by Blaylock. He missed the layup. Boy, Stacy King with a great pass.
There you see the clock. 46 seconds left in the first half. Oklahoma up now by 9 points.
Morris Lyons. What a great move by Morris Lyons underneath. He reached back for that left-handed layup.
7-point lead, I believe. They've got 34-25. With 26 seconds left in the half, and Lance Pulse has been called for a personal foul. So welcome those of you watching along ESPN. Pretty good day of first-round action across the country, huh?
Lance Pulse committing the foul. Good call, Fred. You were right. They didn't give him the 2 points, and now it's up there. You see Pulse commit the foul just as Stacy King made the move to the basket. Oklahoma in the last 5 minutes beginning to show us the way they played all year long. Getting the ball inside to their 2 big guns, Grant and King, and moving the ball up the floor very quickly in that good transition game that they dominated the Midwestern part of the country with.
Rebound long. Goes to UT Chattanooga. The Mocs down 7. They have now put the 2 points on the board, as Larry told you. Shendy Moon back in the game. He'll make your all-main team for UT Chattanooga. Lyons dumps it along the baseline. Shendy Moon back outside to Green. 7 seconds left in the half. Green shot good. Benny Green hits again. 2 seconds left in the half. Grace at midcourt lets it fly and doesn't get it. And the Moccasins are hanging in against the #1 seed in the Southeast, Oklahoma. We are at halftime here at the Omni in Atlanta. Oklahoma 34, UT Chattanooga 29. I don't think Oklahoma likes that point total at all. They got a game that's going to wind up 68-50 at this pace, and that is not Oklahoma basketball.
Well, I think the one thing that the Moccasins have done so far successfully in the first half is take care of the basketball. Yeah, they've turned it over, but they've passed up a lot of very easy shots. And I think maybe that works on the mind of Oklahoma. If you can hold on to the basketball, not give it back to them, and allow them to get into that half-court game, if they dump it inside and shoot those threes, I think it can frustrate them a little bit. And with just that 5-point lead right now that the Sooners have, I think really the UTC Moccasins have played an excellent first half.
Unique situation, isn't it? Going in at halftime, Mac McCarthy's down 5, Billy Tubbs up 5, and I'll bet you $1 to a donut, that Matt McCarthy's a lot happier right now than Billy Tubbs. Unique situation.
I think you're probably right. Billy Tubbs is going to go in there and talk to his club. You know, even though they shot the ball very well in the latter part of the stages of that first half, it went through about a 5 or 6 minute period there where they really couldn't get anything done, even with the ball going to the inside.
But it looked at one time like Oklahoma was going to grab command of the ball game. They went up by 11. But then the Moccasins came fighting right back, and they really have to feel pretty good about things at halftime, I'd say.
And the fact that they've been very patient on offense and been able to get the kinds of shots that they wanted, I think has helped them, even though their shooting percentage is not going to be good in this first half. I really think they've gotten what they want out of it.
Let's take a look at some of the inside work by Oklahoma, and they got a lot of it in the first half.
Yeah,
11 points from Grant.
Dave Seeger with a good dish to the inside, and there's Harvey Grant with that turnaround baseline jumper.
He had 11, and Stacy King picked up 14 for Oklahoma. Sooners didn't get much at all out of their guards. Ricky Grace got 5, Lukie Blaylock 2. They've been combining for 32 points a basketball game and got them only 7 in the first half here. Benny Green outscored him easily by himself. He had 14, and Morris Lyons had 4 from the guard spot. For UT Chattanooga, they got 6 up front from Darren Chandler.
Here's Benny Green with a good shot from beyond that three-point line. UTC, look at him turn around and say something to Billy Tubbs. Said something to him after he dropped that one in.
Well, they probably remember one another from Benny Green's days at Kansas State when they were both in the Big 8. Now, we're at halftime here in the Omni. Again, Oklahoma leading UT Chattanooga by 5. We'll be back after this message and a word from your local station.
Just want a reaction.
Game here in the Omni this afternoon. In the opening game this afternoon, Auburn beat Bradley in a very exciting basketball game. Got them by 4. 2 great individual performances in that one, Larry.
Brett, I think it's 2 good players you're going to see in college basketball. Chris Morris and Hersey Hawkins. Hawkins is the nation's leading scorer, but Chris Morris really showed the NBA scouts, I think, really what he was made of, scoring 36 points in that game. Big win for Auburn.
And then in this one again, the number 16 seed, UT Chattanooga, giving Oklahoma a pretty strong argument. They're only down 5 at halftime, and I would imagine Matt McCarthy's halftime talk is something like, "Good, look, guys, we've done it for 20 minutes. Just do it for 20 more, and we may be okay in this thing."
And I think what they did with they did it with patience. They went out there, they took care of the basketball. Yes, they turned it over, but they also took care of the ball and didn't get themselves in trouble when Oklahoma started their run at them.
So it's a 34-29 ball game at halftime. Very low-scoring game here at the Omni in Atlanta. We'll return with more halftime activities after these messages. This is an NCAA Productions telecast. Chattanooga controlling the pace of this basketball game in a very low-scoring game in the Omni at halftime. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Fred White along with Fred Schaus, the athletic director at West Virginia, and a committee representative from the NCAA. Good start to the long road now to Kansas City, where the 50th anniversary of the Final Four will be held. And Fred, I know that everybody in the NCAA, and I know being from Kansas City, I know people back home are working very hard for the event.
Well, we're looking forward to it, too. Great start here in Atlanta. And I think one of the neat things is this is the 50th anniversary of the Final Four. And what the committee has done is kind of divided it out into decades. The 39 game goes with the decades of the 40s and the 50s, 60s, right on up. They got a lot of neat things happening, but perhaps the outstanding thing will be the banquet in Kansas City. There'll be over 1,200 people there, about 56 of the honorees, MVPs of all the Final Fours, all the coaches that won. I didn't win, but it was very close. But I think that's going to be a great banquet in Kansas City on March 31st.
Well, there have been some memorable games in the NCAA in the Final Four. There have been some in Kansas City. The triple overtime game when North Carolina beat the Will Chamberlain Kansas team is one that comes to mind quickly. This one will be played in a different arena, and for the last time, perhaps in a very small arena.
Well, that's right, and because next year we go to Seattle in the Kingdom out there. But this should be a great Final Four, and I think of all the neat things because of the 50th anniversary.
Just one final word. You were on the selection committee. You guys did a great job again this year. And here again is the Tennessee Chattanooga justifying their existence in the tournament against the number 1 seed.
I think they were like 4th or 5th team in their conference. They're playing a great game. They're playing it exactly like they have to against the Oklahoma running game.
Good to see you again. Fred Schaus, representative of the NCAA in charge of proceedings here in Atlanta. We're at halftime. Oklahoma leading the Moccasins by 5, and we'll be right back.
Back at the Omni in Atlanta, where Oklahoma, the #1 seed in the Southeast, with a very narrow 5-point lead over Tennessee Chattanooga at halftime. Let's take a look at the first half stats. Larry Conley.
Oklahoma shot lights out, except for that small little 4 or 5 minute period there where they didn't do very well, but they're shooting 58%. Chattanooga only 39. Look at the three-point shooting. 5 out of 8 for Chattanooga and 5 of 11 for Oklahoma. Free throw percentages is pretty poor. Right now, UTC is leading Oklahoma in rebounding by 1. Turnovers, Chattanooga 12, Oklahoma with 10. Points in the paint, Oklahoma doing much better in that category as we thought they would. Points off the turnovers, Oklahoma also much better in that area than Chattanooga. That's what we suspected also.
But they really haven't been able to use that wicked press of theirs to the advantage you'd think they would. Oklahoma has not lost a game this year when they've been ahead at halftime. King, turnaround jumper. Boy, he got hot at the end of the half, and he opens the second half with his 16th point of the ball game. And Oklahoma backed up by 7 now. They led by 11 late in the first half, but the Mocsons whacked that down to 5.
See if Chattanooga could steal from behind again by Ziegler.
Laylock tried to get it to King, taken right back. Morris Lyons deflected to Benny Green, who loses it. Now knocked loose from behind by Blaylock, and Lyons recovers.
Hot potato. Lyons with a 3.
Out in the rebound, good by Shendy Moon. His 4th point of the ball game. Back to a 5-point lead for Oklahoma. Laylock to Grace.
Zone, looks like a zone, no? No, it's man-to-man. They get really packed back inside. They want to try to keep the ball away from Grant and King inside. Not able to do it this trip. There's the foul.
Grant fouled by Darren Chandler, the second personal foul on Chandler. That's the first foul of the second half.
And again, Oklahoma goes to their strength, and their strength is the inside game. They've got to go to the 2 big guys. Good feed that time on the inside by Ricky Grace. Going to the line will be Harvey Grant.
Harvey Grant with 11 points in the first half of this game.
Fred, you know, I want to get back to that statistic I talked about in the first half. The fact that Oklahoma is second in the nation in scoring, led the Big 8 in scoring, obviously. And they don't have a guy in the top 5 in individual scoring in the Big 8. Now, that must tell you 2 things. One is good distribution by this Oklahoma team. And secondly, they've got some great players in the Big 8.
Well, they do have that. We've talked about it before this year. Maybe if you took an all-star 5 out of the Big 8, I don't know if any conference in the country could match it.
Tell you what, that senior class they got out there is really going to do a great job in the NBA, I think. Blaylock with a good steal again.
Ziegler pulls up on the wing to Grace. Down low. He's been the man with a hot hand. That one won't fall for him. Now the Mocsons come back. Down 7 with 18:28 left in the game. Benny Green against Ziegler.
Zone defense right now, 1-3-1. Good diction inside.
And Behrens couldn't get it down. He's going to shoot it again. Foul is going to count.
Behrens with a big effort inside. I think the foul may be on Stacy King.
Behrens got a break when he missed the first shot, Larry.
Chris Behrens from Peoria, Illinois. Good athlete, jumper. Plays a little soft. Not this time. Watch him get up in the air and stay after this rebound. Good pump fake. Got it up in the air and a good stick back. Good work by the Moccasins and Chris Behrens.
Second foul on Stacy King. There's Chris Behrens. 58% free throw shooter for the year. Sticks that one, nothing but net. He picks up the 3-point play. His first points of the afternoon. Now here comes Lance Pulse right back in. And Behrens coming out after getting the 3-point play. Stacy King goes to the bench for Oklahoma. 18-13 left in the game. Sooners up 4. Andre Wiley is on the floor for Oklahoma now. Another good athlete coming off the center bench. Catches it low and scores as soon as he gets in the ball game.
Hello, come off the bench and give me the ball.
Andre Wiley with a quick 2. And the Oklahoma bench contributes. 6-point lead Oklahoma now.
And again, UTC showing you some of that patience that they had in the first half. They kept them close. 5 points in half.
Darren Chandler too strong with a try. Shendy Moon rebounds it. 6 for Shendy Moon. And the Moccasins back within 4 of Oklahoma. 12 second chance points now for UT Chattanooga in this game. 3 for Oklahoma. It's a 4-point ball game at the moment. Shendy Moon. Green. He's open. Short. Pulse hit it. Picked up by Moon in the circle. Grace contests it. And right back outside the line.
Bounce is going UTC's way right now.
Moon to Benny Green.
Chattanooga gets a basket right here. It could be big. Real big.
With a running clock again, Larry. Shandy Moon. They turned down a couple of shots in this week's. Now Chandler's at the baseline and scores. Great offensive work by UT Chattanooga. 2-point lead, Oklahoma. And the Mocs get it back with 16:49 left in the basketball game.
And a chance to tie or even go ahead if they get a three. I'm going to tell you something. Those gold and black clad fans are on their feet.
They really are. Having a good time here.
Oklahoma stays with that press. Too much passing. Not as tough, as hard. Turned the screws up that time. They just kind of backed off of it. Now they're in their man-to-man.
Pulse down inside Green.
Just like black. How about navy blue?
Navy blue and gold. Well, they're across the arena from us.
Now my eyes are going bad, too. Good steal. Grace, great steal.
Ricky Grace. Benny Green is up there. Grace, nice fake. Gets it up. He's fouled by Shandy Moon.
You know, we talked about at the top of the show the fact that Blaylock and Grace do such a great job of running this club. They're number 1 and 2 in assists and steals in the Big 8. He just stole it, went all the way down, and laid it up and got fouled.
Ricky Grace, second in the Big 8 in steals to his running mate, Mookie Blaylock at guard. Grace leads the conference in assists, and Blaylock is second in that department. In fact, Larry, they have a chance to become the first 2 guards ever to come up with 200 assists each and 100 steals each in a season. Think about that, Bert. How can you do that?
I tell you, Oklahoma's a statistician's dream.
Guys. They have set 4 NCAA records this year and set or tied 34 conference and school records. Ricky Grace now has 7.
I say it's a dream. Maybe it's a nightmare. Maybe the guy doesn't want to look at all those numbers. They've had a great year. Not over yet by any stretch of the imagination.
Green to Morris Lions again. UT Chattanooga running that offense with great patience, and it's hit by Darren Chandler off a feed from Lance Fultz. How about a one-handed catch? Woo! The Moccasins within 1 here. 15:40 left in the basketball game. Grace along the lane. Harvey Grant, fadeaway jumper. Good. It's a tough shot, and he nailed it. And he has 15 points today. Morris Lions in some trouble against the press. To Darren Chandler. He doesn't want it. And a walk is called. And the Oklahoma press forces a turnover.
Few times they've been able to get a turnover in the backcourt. Mac McCarthy off the bench right there, very upset. A new father, 15-month-old baby.
Where we just got a score from South Bend with 15 minutes left in the game. Memphis State has a 17-point lead over Baylor, the darling of the Southwest Conference. Foul in the lane.
Harvey Grant with a big foul.
Look at Billy Tubbs.
Watch it again. Now watch Grant on the inside. Good position right there. Green picks it off.
Now Benny Green with the basketball. Way outside, Shandy Moon. UT Chattanooga down 3 with 15 minutes, 5 seconds left in the game.
He's open.
Green missed the 3. Rebound inside. Lions, the guard went up with it. He walked. 17 turnovers now charged to UT Chattanooga. Oklahoma's committed a dozen. Timeout here. 14:58 left in the game. Oklahoma up 3. Mac McCarthy talking to an official.
Let's watch it again. UTC handling the basketball, working on the perimeter of this Oklahoma defense. Good lob pass to the inside. There's a tremendous catch down there by Darren Chandler. He got it with one hand. Little point to Fultz for the credit. Here's the assistant coach at UTC.
Bill Gleason, he's quite a legend. He and his wife had 15 children, and he decided that wasn't enough, so they adopted another one to give him 16 now. That is the father of 16 children, Bill Gleason.
And he has another 15 out here on the floor.
Yep. Harvey Grant, nice catch and a turnaround jump shot good. And Harvey Grant now has 17 points for Oklahoma, and the Sooners up by 5. Work with that press. And Green handling at the midcourt line. Finds Morris Lions. They handled the press well for the most part, Larry.
Well, in the second half, I can only remember one turnover that they had in the backcourt, and Oklahoma took that and scored with it.
3-point shooting in this game. Oklahoma has attempted only 4. I can't believe that. Here's a team that shot 696 threes this year, and they've attempted only 4 in this ball game. You have a foul called here. Andre Wiley committed.
You think Chattanooga's not getting it done on the boards? Look at that. 27-17. An Oklahoma team that averages 43 rebounds a game. Chandler, good layup, good pass by Green.
10 points, Darren Chandler, the 6'6 sophomore from Stark, Florida, pulls UT Chattanooga within 3 points. Sigur's 3 won't fall. That's only the 5th attempt of a 3 by Oklahoma today. We simply are not seeing the Sooners playing their basketball game, and give a lot of credit to Matt McCarthy and UT Chattanooga for that. Put together a solid game plan, Larry.
Horse Lions handling the basketball, and watch Green handle. They're going to take their time. 15 seconds already off the shot clock.
Really dangerous pass. They tried to drop it low, and it's out of bounds to Oklahoma.
Watch Benny Green get this pass to the inside, and Darren Chandler just go in and lay it up. Closest defender right there for Oklahoma was Harvey Grant, and he backed off and allowed it to go through.
Larry, North Carolina A&T is hanging in today. They've lost 6 straight games in the NCAA. Syracuse has them down 3 in the first half of the game in Chapel Hill.
I think Mookie Blaylock just got a foul. Grab on the arm.
I correct myself. I believe that Syracuse scores with 13 minutes left in the game. It's a very low-scoring game if that's the case. It's 41-38 Syracuse leading North Carolina A&T. Mookie Blaylock's 3rd personal foul. We are at the Omni in Atlanta. In the earlier game here today, Auburn beat Bradley 90-86.
As good a college basketball game you should ever want to watch.
Percy Hawkins 44, Chris Morris 36 for Auburn in that one. Rhode Island beat Missouri 87-80. Purdue over Fairleigh Dickinson.
Benny Green, yes!
Benny Green with his first points in the second half. 2-point goal for Benny Green. He now has 16 points. Sigger in the middle. Foul called on Benny Green. He thought he had the steal, committed his 2nd foul. Boy, what a player he is, Larry. A 6'3 sophomore from Little Rock, Arkansas. 13:07 left in this game. Oklahoma with a narrow 1-point lead over UT Chattanooga right now. And Stacy King, the 69% free thrower, will go to the line. 16 points a day. He's 0 for 2 at the line.
Well, you know, this is a UT Chattanooga team that won the Southern Conference tournament. Marshall University out of Huntington, West Virginia won the season. In fact, won 24 games during the season. Really expected to get an NCAA bid. They were bypassed, and UTC was the only team to come out of the Southern Conference for admittance into the NCAA tournament. There were some upset people in that Southern Conference over there.
King missed the 2nd free throw, but Grace picks up the long rebound. It's slapped back outside. Grant in the corner to Sigger. Down inside, Grant, turnaround jumper, good. And Harvey Grant starting to pick it up offensively now with his 19th point. Oklahoma up 4 with 12:55 to play. But the fact that King only has 3 rebounds in this game.
I think UTC's done an excellent job on the backboard. As I said, you saw the stat a few minutes ago. They're leading Oklahoma by 10 rebounds so far in this game. Played about 29 minutes of basketball.
Sigger slapped it, picked up by King. And the Sooners force a turnover with their press. Mookie Blaylock ran again. Somebody got a hand on that one, and Benny Green picks it off. Here come the Moccasins down 4. And Green again pulls it back outside, and the Moccasins start to run that clock some more. Lance Fultz, top of the circle, drops it down inside, and it's going to be a charging foul on Darren Chandler, his 3rd personal foul.
Take a look at the offensive charge. You can see the ball dished to the inside, right into the post position, right up against Grant. He took it to him. A little bit of an acting job there, Mr. Grant. Just back into the brace back there.
Grant. Oh, King. Battling comes up with the rebound. Took it over Shenny Moon that time. He just used his superior height on Moon. Grace in the lane. Pulls up and shoots and scores. It's only 8 points for Grace, and Mookie Blaylock has just 2. And now Grace commits a foul, his 2nd.
The thing Oklahoma does to you immediately after a made field goal is they find their man so quickly after that made field goal. Fred, they're one of the best in the country after a made field goal, going into that pressure defense full court and getting to that offensive man quickly.
Benny Green is going to be called for a walk. Oh, boy, that upsets the Chattanooga let's watch Benny Green with the ball down the right side. Ricky Grace, look at him in the screen right here. Come right there from behind and trip him. I don't know how he could miss that one. It was right in front of him. Jody Sylvester.
Bad break for UTC. Grant now spins inside and scores. He's fouled. It's going to count, and that is a big swing in Oklahoma's favor this time. From a possible 2 at the other end for Tennessee Chattanooga to a possible 3 at this end for Oklahoma.
So far in the second half, Harvey Grant's been able to take it to the inside and just do it whatever he wants. You see him make that wheel down the lane, lay it up off the glass, and he goes to the line for a 3-point chance. 2 good, strong players inside.
Look at Stacy King. Stick it back. Now the Sooners open a 10-point lead with 11:51 left in the game. Oklahoma trying to gain command of the game again. They were up by 11 at one point in the first half. Lions, Benny Green, and a 3, pass it up, takes the lane, gets it up, and scores. A charging foul on Benny Green. Will they count the bucket? Yes.
Benny Green with an excellent pump fake. Watch Grayson Siegler go flying into the UTC bench, and he goes inside. There's Grant with a good defensive position, drew the charge. Green with a foul.
Third foul on Benny Green. He picks up his 18th point of the ball game. It's an 8-point lead to Oklahoma with 11:32 left to play. Stacy King made the way. Jump shot good. 21 points for Stacy.
Fred, I think they ought to make application to the patent office for that shot for both of those guys.
Well, he and Grant can really shoot it. (56-46) Oklahoma with 11:22 left in the game. Nice dump to Bulls, and the shot doesn't fall. Ziger out with the rebound to Grace, to Blaylock, to Grant. And the Sooners finally getting this thing opened up a little bit, Larry. They're starting to get control of the pace now. Up by 12, but Grant commits a foul on the press, and that's his court.
You know what? He's going to call it on Grant, and I think Blaylock was the guy who tripped him. Morris Lyons trying to get between 2 defenders right there, and Grant's going to pick it up, and Blaylock is the guy who got it.
And that is 4 fouls on Harvey Grant. We have time out here in the Omni. 11:01 left in this basketball game. 12-point lead. Oklahoma over Tennessee Chattanooga. We'll be right back.
As you can see right here, Benny Green with a basketball. When you miss shots that are this wide open, it makes it tough on you. Bulls with a little short arm shot. Seeger gets it outside. Grace gets it to Blaylock. Blaylock knows who to get it to on the inside. Watch Grant go up and stuff it. That's a jam city.
That's Oklahoma's 18th point off the fast break this afternoon. Now they lead 58-46, their biggest lead of the day at 12 with 10:51 left in the game.
All right, it's important to Chattanooga now not panic. They are down by 12 right now, and they need a good shot here to get it back within 10 or 9.
Chandler tried a 3 and missed, and Oklahoma gets it back. Blaylock to Ricky Grace. Siger to King. Blaylock. Nice to the circle and back outside to Ricky Grace. Andre Wiley down low gets the basketball and scores. Andre Wiley has 4, and Oklahoma up by 14 points now. Fine shot, no. Oklahoma rebound. Stacy King, the 6'10 junior, takes it off of there. Ricky Grace in the lane, guns it down inside to Wiley. He missed. He's got it again, and he's fouled. By Darren Chandler, that's his 4th personal foul.
Watch Andre Wiley down on the inside, but more importantly, watch Ricky Grace take the ball inside and give it to him. Great dump. Well, it's tough to miss a shot like that. Wiley goes right back after it and draws a foul from Chandler. Tell you what, Grace made a great move down inside to dish that ball off.
Chandler, Lyons, and Robinson all come out of the UTC lineup now. As Behrens is in there, Shandy Moon. Shepard back on the floor. Along with Folsom Green. Wiley free throw.
Oklahoma begin to stretch it out a little bit now. Yeah, also catching up in that rebound department.
16-point lead for the Sooners now. For the first time today, they appear to be in a position to break the ball game open. Shepard, Shandy Moon in the circle. Nice dish inside the post. King blocked the shot. Pulse again, and he scored. It's going to count.
Seeger's got a foul.
4 points for the 6'6 senior from Fort Meade, Florida.
Not only 6'6", but how about 265 pounds? Good block there by Stacy King on the inside. He picks it up again. Bolts does, and Seeger fouls him from the backside.
First foul on Dave Seeger.
Pretty good work by Fultz that time to go back in after that ball.
Fultz with 4 rebounds and a half dozen points today. Give him 7. I'll make it 5 points for Lance Fultz. That was just his 4th. Field goal. Seeger. 3. Oklahoma now beginning to find the range for threes. It's just their second three-point goal of the day. They've only tried 5 three-point shots. That's a figure that kind of stuns me, Larry. Moon shot won't go. Rebounds on the floor. And it's out of bounds to Oklahoma. Shendy Moon now out of the lineup for UTC. There's a Robinson back in the ballgame.
A little bit more pressure now by UTC. They pulled that defense way out. Should open it up for King inside, and does. Stacy King with another baseline jumper.
23 points now for Stacy King. And an 18-point lead for Oklahoma.
There's that pressure defense again by Oklahoma. They would not allow that ball to come in. Watch the ball move around the perimeter. Look at Stacy King. Good position on the inside. Bulls can do nothing but just stand there and watch it. I tell you what, when you got that good baseline, soft touch from about 6 to 8 feet as he does, he's a dangerous player. Plus, he's got such great size at 6'10" and 230.
Great shot blocker. Came into the game with 93 blocks on the season. And 8 in one game against Georgia State. There's Mookie Blaylock. That's only his 4th point today, Larry. That puts Oklahoma up by 20 now. Foul against Dave Seeger. Will be his 2nd.
Billy Tubbs, who's fashioned a 30-3 record this year. I tell you what, if there's anybody that sounds more like Jack Nicholson than Jack Nicholson is Billy Tubbs.
That's true.
I told him that we were out in Missouri. I saw him earlier in the year. I said, anybody ever tell you that? He says, yeah, I've had a lot of people tell me that.
Oklahoma Ball Club has a chance to accomplish something quite rare. Both Oklahoma and Syracuse have a chance to have football teams in the top 4 and basketball teams in the top 4 this year. Last school to do that was Georgia back in 82-83. Benny Green pulls up, fires a 3 off the front of the rim. The rebound, Andre Wiley for Oklahoma. Deflected by Benny Green out of bounds. It'll be Sooner basketball. 20-point lead to the Sooners with 8:22 left in the game.
Now we're seeing the Oklahoma team of January and February.
Yeah, we are. Oklahoma really beginning to take control of this thing now. Benny Green is going to take a little breather here. Mike Collins, a 6'3" junior, in to replace him.
Fred, I know you had them early in December, and you really liked the way they played, although Florida State really pushed them to the limit. They had those 2 losses back-to-back to LSU and to Florida State, but not to Florida State, but to LSU and Kansas State. And then they just turned it around, and no one really hit them except for Missouri, and their 1 loss to Columbia.
Yeah, they've lost just the 3 ball games this year. Grace shot misses. It's out of bounds to UT Chattanooga. Billy Tubbs now with 3 Big 8 championships. Has his team in the NCAA. Larry told you earlier, for the 6th straight time, only 5 teams have been there more consecutive times than Oklahoma. They're ranked 4th in the nation now. They accomplished a lot in a very, very tough conference.
One of the most underrated conferences. Everybody talks a lot about the Big Ten, the SEC, and the ACC, and the Big East. I'll tell you what, the Big East is as good as any conference in the country.
Well, there you see one of the problems for Oklahoma. Here's Andre Wiley coming off the bench. He's a great athlete. He has 8 points off the bench in the second half of this ball game. Tony Martin off the bench, good athlete. Terrence Mullins, Tyrone Jones, they just keep bringing them, don't they?
Well, Jones was a first-team All-American at Hutchinson Junior College. Wiley was a first-team All-American at Compton, California Junior College. These guys are sitting on the bench.
Walk charge to UT Chattanooga. Oklahoma up 22 with the basketball now. 23 charge of the Moccasins. King, another turnaround jumper. That one won't go. Look at Wiley. He's fouled. The basket counts. Sooner or later, they're going to get you.
Looks like it's later right now for UTC.
UT Chattanooga wants a timeout here with 7:34 left in this basketball game. It's now Oklahoma 73, Moccasins 49. We'll be back to the Omni. 3:49, Oklahoma leading Tennessee Chattanooga. They've outscored them 24-9 in the last 5 minutes and 6 seconds. So Oklahoma has boosted that lead by 15 points in 5 minutes. Andre Wiley will be on the line. Syracuse leading North Carolina A&T by 56-50. With 3 minutes left in that ball game, North Carolina A&T came in with 16 straight wins, but they have not won a game in 6 previous NCAA trips, and they may go down for the 7th time today.
And North Carolina beat North Texas State. That's a final.
So the Tar Heels advance. The team wearing green got beat on St. Patrick's Day, Larry.
That just can't happen. The Leprechaun wasn't down there.
One team wearing green here in Atlanta today. That'll be North Carolina Charlotte. Jeff Mullins' ball club will face Brigham Young in the early game tonight, and then it'll be Louisville to take on Oregon State out of the Pac-10. Ziegler shot off Missouri out of the Big 8, lost earlier today to Rhode Island from the Atlantic 10. For the Oregon State going into action tonight, you know that Pac-10 teams have won just 1 game in the last 3 years in NCAA play.
It's been a real drought for the clubs out of that Pac-10. Obviously, the one they've got this year, Arizona, is the standard bearer. They're carrying the flag for the Pac-10, and they are an excellent basketball team.
There are 10 teams out of the western part of the country in the tournament this year, up from 5 last year. So perhaps the West making a comeback now. Pulse, Collins. Moccasins down 25 with 6:22 left in this game. Three seniors on this Oklahoma club.
He could move by false that time. He got good offensive position inside, got King on his hip, and went straight to the basket. Kind of hard to fight around that 265 pounds. Good dish away from King. Do nothing but foul him right there, over the back.
UTC starting just 2 seniors a day, so Mac McCarthy has the nucleus back for a pretty good basketball team.
Fred, you know, a lot has been made of the clubs coming out of the West this year. The fact that they are up to 10 teams from 5 from last year. And they really have not had very good basketball teams coming out of the West to participate in the NCAA tournament. They've not done well in first or second round play. This year they've got some legitimate contenders, I think, out of the West.
Well, Arizona primarily is a team that everybody in the nation agrees has an excellent chance to win a national championship. Again, the 50th anniversary Final Four to be contested in Kansas City. King's turnaround jump shot good. 23 points for Stacy King. Make it 25 for Stacy King. And a bad pass out of bounds. And Oklahoma's really taking it over now, Larry, with 5:47 left. Sooners up by 26 points with the basketball. Memphis State has Baylor down by just a dozen now. Baylor making a comeback in that with 3 minutes left in that ball game. But what a job Larry Finch has done with his ball club. They lose Gray and Alexander, 2 great players off that team in December. And Larry Finch has them in the NCAA and up by 12 in first-round action over Baylor.
The club that got very hot toward the end of the season in the Southwest Conference. I tell you, Baylor was as good as anybody playing in that Southwest down there, and SMU got him in the tournament.
I think that Larry Finch has turned in one of the more amazing coaching jobs in the country this year. I know not much has been said about him nationally, but boy, what a job he has done. 4th foul on Ricky Grace. Oklahoma wants timeout here. Sooners want to talk about it. Billy Tubbs calling the Sooners in around him with 5:24 left in the game, and Oklahoma leading Tennessee Chattanooga by 26 points at the moment. Auburn. Auburn defeated Bradley 90-86 in an outstanding basketball game here earlier this afternoon at the Omni in Atlanta. First round action from the Southeast Conference. Mike Collins on the line, a 6'3" junior from Leavenworth, Kansas. That's the first point of the ball game. Oklahoma, Larry, now has picked up 23 points off turnovers in this game, so the press started to work late.
Could be the UT Chattanooga is getting a little leg weary, too, because they've had to contend with that Oklahoma press all afternoon.
North Carolina 83, State 63.
North Carolina defeated North Texas State 83-63. Sigger to King for Oklahoma. Now Grace. 5:05 left in the game, and Grace sticks one.
What a tough shot. Okay, Collins was right in his face, and he still got it in.
10 points now for Ricky Grace. He came into this game with 14 steals in NCAA play. Tommy Amaker's record 26, so if Grace and the Sooners stay in this tournament for a while, he has a chance to break that record this year.
You know, he missed the opening game with an ankle injury for Oklahoma, and he's come back and played so very well. One of the big 8, as you said, an assist.
At 89 steals this season when the game started, his running mate, Mookie Blaylock, had 127 for Oklahoma. Sooners really in command now, up by 26 points.
Heard an interesting story about the two of them when Blaylock was being recruited. Ricky Grace was already at Oklahoma, and he called one day, Mookie Blaylock, and he's Midland Junior College down in Texas, and he says, how's the team doing? He said, we're doing pretty well. And he said, where are you thinking about going? He said, I think either Florida or Kansas. And immediately, Grace went to Coach Tubbs and said, well, he said, look, Coach, he says, I don't want to play against Mookie Blaylock for the next 2 years. If he goes to Kansas, let's go after him. And they did.
Pretty good recruiter. I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to play against him either. That's good thinking.
A great quote when he came down here. He says, I'm going to show him a good time. I'm going to make sure he comes here because I don't want to play against him.
Terrence Mullins has committed his 4th foul. Harvey Grant back in the ball game now for Oklahoma. Here the Sooners had 34 points at halftime, so they have scored 47 in the second half. We still have 4 minutes to play, so this half has really been more of an Oklahoma half, Larry. Pulls with that odd free-throwing style. Picks up his 7th point. Still shoots this free throw. He gets rid of it sort of like it's hot.
You know, we were sitting talking to Mac McCarthy about Pulse yesterday. He says he can't run, he can't jump, just a classic overachiever. And I would agree with that. He works very, very hard and gets the most out of what he's got. The line drive.
He gets rid of it. 81-54, Oklahoma now, 3:57 left in the game. Next game up in the Omni. North Carolina Charlotte against Brigham Young. Then later tonight, it'll be Louisville and Oregon State. Grant kicks it back outside, where Grace loses the handle on it. Picked off Morris Lyons for UTC. Has Shepard in front of him, and Lyons takes the layup. Picks up his 8th point of the afternoon.
Pretty good move. Take it right down the middle. The defense doesn't come and get you. Just take it and lay it up on the glass. That's exactly what he did.
Fouled by Fultz. And that's going to do it for Lance Fultz.
Tell you what, Fred, I think Billy Tubbs ought to keep an extra stat at Oklahoma. How many times the ball comes from the wing into the post down low? It's amazing the number of passes they get down inside like that. Grace right into Wiley. There's the foul committed. They look. Every time that ball hits the wing, there's an entry pass coming from there. If they don't have it, they kick it back out, but they look right back again to the inside.
Andre Wiley hits the free throw. He has 11 points now. That was the 4th foul on Fultz. Wiley's 4 for 4 in the line. There's a final. Memphis State advances. They beat Baylor today. So Larry Fetch, Memphis State Tigers move on. Louisville out of the Metro will be in action here in the last game tonight. Florida State, another team out of the Metro, is out west. That was Spencer Robinson getting his 3rd point. Oklahoma, one of 5 Big 8 teams in the tournament. Missouri out of the Big 8 lost earlier today. Kansas State will play LaSalle and South Bend tonight. Wiley, what a job he's doing off the bench. He has 13 points, Larry.
They call him the creator. He just created a basket underneath right there.
I don't believe I'd fool with that name. That's been taken.
Long time ago.
Yeah, it's been around a while. The other fella had it first. Ray Wiley goes to the line.
One of those players out of Michigan, Clinton, Michigan. Well, we have seen a lot of good high school players come out of that state in the last 10 years.
14 points off the bench for Andre Wiley. Came on late in the season, did Wiley, and what a valuable player he's been. Now he almost gets the steal. They kick it up to Robinson. He's going to shoot a 3 that won't fall. And Tony Martin kicks the rebound up to Ricky Grace. Sooners out running the floor. Terrence Mullins takes a 3-point try from the corner that won't fall. Rebound to Robinson. 2 minutes, 37 seconds left in the game. Oklahoma up up by 28 now. They led at halftime by 5. Tennessee Chattanooga hung in this thing for a long time, Larry.
Well, they hung on really about, what, 20, 30, maybe 26 minutes. Pulse with a nice move to the inside. A little run at him in the second half, and then Oklahoma began to exploit it and just blow it open.
Lance Volz now has 10 points. Down low, Harvey Grant. Turnaround jumper, good. 25 for Harvey Grant in this ball game now. And again, a 28-point lead to Oklahoma with 2 minutes left in the game. And the foul call. Tony Martin.
Developed into a street game. You score at your end, and I'll take it to my end.
One thing you don't want to do with Oklahoma is get in a street battle with them.
Not with the athletes they have.
They could have written a song for the Doobie Brothers, taking it to the street. Two minutes exactly left in this contest. 28-point lead for Oklahoma, and Lyons will go to the line. Morris Lyons, a 6'2" senior from Memphis, has 8 points in this one and 4 rebounds. He's really a point guard. Free throw won't fall. Andre Riley had it. Taken back by Shandy Moon. His shot doesn't go, but he's fouled.
Looks like Grant got him.
Harvey Grant. And that's 5 on Harvey Grant. With a minute 56 left in this game here at the Omni Atlanta, Harvey Grant has fouled out with 25 points and 6 rebounds. And the Oklahoma Sooners have broken it open late in the half and taken a 28-point lead over Tennessee Chattanooga. It's 88-60 Oklahoma with 1:56 left in the game, and Shandy Moon at the line for the Mocs. He has 6 points today. A 6'5" sophomore from Atlanta.
So the Sooners will move on. They'll advance and play Auburn on Saturday.
On Saturday, that'll be a heck of a basketball game, Larry. Auburn with a 4-point win over Bradley in an excellent game here earlier today. Shandy Moon gets the second free throw. He has 7, but Oklahoma with a 27-point lead, control of the game with 1:52 to play. Ricky Grace runs by Morris Lyons, kicks it off, deep corner. Shot won't fall. Riley, who's been such an excellent player off the bench in the second half of this game, didn't quite control that. Wiley has scored 14 off the bench in the second half for Oklahoma. Harvey Grant fouls out with 25 points. 25 for Stacy King for Oklahoma. Sooners get the ball back here. The Moccasins turn it over with 1:43 left in the game. 2 more games to go tonight in the Omni. North Carolina Charlotte will face Brigham Young. For those initial battles, UNCC against BYU in the first game tonight, and then it's Oregon State and Louisville in the nightcap here in Southeast action at the Omni. 25 turnovers now charged to UTC. Oklahoma finishing up the game. Mullins off the baseline to Bell, and he's going to score.
How about that move by Mullins? Mullins down inside. Good dish.
Mike Bell picks up his first 2 points of the contest, 90-61. Oklahoma held to 34 points in the first half of this game. He's come up with 56 in the second half. All right, there's a steal, and that's Oklahoma-style basketball. Bell, they go into the helicopter. He picks up his 4th point, and the Sooners are going to ice the cake. 92-61, Oklahoma now over Tennessee Chattanooga with 58 seconds left. And the Sooners with 58 points in the second half really gain command of it. Shepard's shot won't fall. Lance close. All 260 pounds of him takes it back up, and he's fouled. And we'll go to the free throw line with 48 seconds left in the game. First foul on Mike Bell of Oklahoma. UT Chattanooga is at just 2 of 15 3-point shots in this ball game. Oklahoma, surprisingly, has pretty much ignored the 3 today. They have hit 3 out of 8, and here's a team that tried 696 threes during the year, trying just 8 so far today. Substitutions, Oklahoma. Jason Skorseski comes into the ball game, as does Tyrone Jones. For the 7th consecutive time, North Carolina A&T has lost in the first round. They have yet to win in NCAA play. Syracuse got them today. left in this one. And Morris Lyons with the steal is fouled. The man that got him is Tyrone Jones, who just came into the ball game. Will it be an intentional foul?
Pretty good move by Morris Lyons here for this steal. Got it from the backside. He's going to take it in and try to lay it up. Going to see the foul come from the other side. Tyrone Jones got him on the leg, got him on the arm.
Lance Pulse out of the ball game now for UT Chattanooga. Their senior center from Fort Meade, Florida.
Yeah, they've only got 2 seniors on this club, Lance Pulse and Morris Lyons. So look for UT Chattanooga to get right back in the thick of it next year. What a great stat, Fred, for the 87-88 season. The total points that were scored on this team, 1,066 were scored by sophomores, 874 by seniors, 375 by juniors, and 53 by freshmen. So the bulk of the scoring really came from their sophomore class.
Lyons gets the free throws. Now has 10 points today. And now Lyons will come out of the lineup. The other senior, he's from Memphis. Finishes the day with 10 points. So the 2 seniors, remember Matt McCarthy with his arm around him talking to him. Nice moment in front of the Moccasin bench. Wiley with a turnaround jumper that won't fall. Ball being tipped all over the place. Shepard comes up with it. Shepard pulls up, wanted a 3, but he stepped on the line. It would have been 2. Chris Behrens picks up the rebound. 14 seconds left in this game. Shepard gets 2. Patrick Shepard picks up his first points of the day. 8 seconds left, and Oklahoma has advanced. They'll go to action on Saturday. Long shot good by Art Pollard at the gun, and Oklahoma has won it 94-66. Billy Tubbs sees his Sooners pick up their 31st victory of the year. They down UT Chattanooga 94-66 and advance to play Auburn on Saturday here in the Omni. There's the final. Oklahoma big over UT Chattanooga. We'll be right back.